Scholars, welcome back to the counselor's office. Welcome to illegal farming. That's right. I'm here. I am your illegal armor farmer, here to sell you what I got. I wish I had like a trench robe, and I'd be like, stranger, what are you buying? What are you selling? I wish I had one, but I don't. But what I'm selling you is a PSA. We already know, for those that want to understand and know why you would farm illegal armor, because we know there's a bunch of changes coming to armor. One of the big ones is the archetypes. Everything's changing to a specific archetype, and there's going to be specific roles that you can get right now that will translate 1-to-1 to these. However, you will maintain those illegal roles. Like one exactly is weapons and super. That is not one of the options currently going into Edge of Fate that you will be able to farm in the future. So that's why you're wanting to farm everything currently now. That's right, everything. And even if you're like, can't plan on playing Edge of Fate, this will benefit you, whether you're a new player, a casual, or a veteran. It will impact you. And if you decide, hey, I'm going to wait till Renegades, well, you're going to want to start farming now. You have a week to farm. And you technically, the easiest route to do it now is until reset, which we'll get into that, which is why I'm doing this like panic button. Okay, this is Sunday video. Gotta get this out. People only have a couple days to start farming who want to farm and have the urgency. Sorry, I was out for the 4th of July. So for a couple of days of the week, I was not even at home. I had pre-recorded videos. And then I heard about this. Good thing I brought my laptop, so I've been farming. But I'm here to make this video for you to get you caught up. What do you want for armor, exotics, and for legendaries? Well, currently the cap that we can get on legendaries is tier 3. What matters here is that starting at Edge Fate, most of the armor, most of the people who are going to be playing the game are only going to be having access to tier 2 unless you are hyper aggressively power farming. You have a couple of days if you're trying to go for day 1 raids. If you're not doing it, you don't care. But you could skip the farm and just be okay with tier 3. Like if you can get min-max your build and get the build you want translating into Edge of Fate with alongside that, you're getting the free update. You can essentially, if you're okay with tier 3, you don't even have to touch any of the stuff, mostly because you're also going to be bottlenecked into tier 2 stuff. It won't be until like you start doing activities, probably most likely Edge of Fate. You're gonna have to play the expansion to get the easiest route to get higher tier gear. But if you play now, you can guarantee legendary armor tier 3, and exotics can go all the way up to tier 4. That's right. You can get, if you're super lucky right now, you can get up to like 70, 71, or even 72. You can get lucky and get tier 4. But you do want to at least try to get exotics up to tier 3, because going into Edge of Fate with a free update that's coming alongside it, exotics will be capped at tier 2 for at least a year, probably more. Bungie has kind of given us hope and dreams of that ever being a reality. As of now, I would focus on all this. And again, if you don't plan on buying Edge of Fate, at least you know you can translate your favorite builds right now, a week before the changes happen, and you'll be set. You can continue playing how you want. Or if you plan on coming back after Edge of Fate to see if Renegades is worth coming back for, at least you're kind of pre-prepping. That's a lot of talking for the intro. Let's dive into the specifics. As you can see, I've been filling my inventory full of materials. There are 3 things you're going to need: exotics, Ascent Shards, and Glimmer. And that's it. That's the only thing we're going to focus on. Again, I'm filling up my postmaster. Why does that matter? Because you're going to want to pay attention to the daily rotating lost sectors. You have a week to find multiple lost sectors. There's like, you're going to find them, but I wouldn't hyper prioritize it. This today, as I'm talking this Saturday, is Perdition. If you're watching this, it's going to be like 7 o'clock in the morning. If you're like really fat, like I got this until reset, you could farm for a couple hours and get some easy exotics, especially on master mode, which is going to guarantee you, you're going to be able to do master within like under 3 minutes. And you're going to be able to get some exotics, which is why I was filling up my inventory as much as I can with each character, because find those lost sectors that you can min-max, get your time done. If you feel like, hey, that's too much for me, do expert. Still same thing. it's easy to do. Always go for the easy ones, stock up on those exotics, and then farm the rest of the material. All right, so that just kind of explains why, because like I said, you're going to want to focus on those tier 3 exotics, and like I said, the best way to do it, we're going to talk about it when we get there, but you're going to want to focus on exotic engrams, and you're going to want Ascent Shards. So I'm going to talk about Ascent Shards because this one's kind of like the harder one. You can use your free battle pass. You can use tonics. I don't have any crafted, but you can use one of the tonic ones. Those ones take longer, but the best way I found outside of doing Grandmasters, you can do Master, Grandmaster. If you do Grandmaster, guaranteed 2 Ascendant Shards. But if you're like, hey, I'm not comfortable doing that, then focusing on your Tube of Want, using scriptures. This is, you want to make sure you're focusing on armor scriptures, by the way. Read the prompt. I wasted like 20 on Ascendant Alloys because I wasn't reading the prompt. But you can essentially, just using these scriptures that you get from Episode Heresy. By the way, if you don't have Episode Heresy, you don't have Episode Echoes, pretty much the best way to get Ascendant Shards is going to be Nightfalls or leveling up some Battle Pass. There's probably some other routes that you can go, but the easiest for the time being, which if I think right now, everyone should have access to Episode Heresy and Echoes and Revenant right now. It should be free, so go download that real quick, just at PSA. You just go ahead and download it now. That way you have access to this stuff, and you can also farm for free. You're focusing specifically on armor, don't care about the missions or anything. You can start focusing by playing the Nether, which we'll get to in a minute because it's going to be important for you to want to do that. So that's how you're going to get Ascendant Shards. Again, those are the easiest ways, are just these two. Exotics, like I said, we'll show you in a minute. However, we're going to translate how the biggest bottleneck that I have found is usually Glimmer. And you're like, geez, Mr. Gaming Counselor, how do I do Glimmer? Well, like I said, the episodes are free. So we're going to focus on something that anyone can do solo. You can do this completely solo, no effort. It does take some time. It is boring, but is a surefire way. I'm specifically going to run on Titan. I'm going to rock the ultimate Glimmer boost and a wombo combo. And then I'm going to slot on a sword, Eager Edge. And then I'm going to run grapple, and I'm just going to min-max my speed with Valiant Rampants if I need to like do transversal. And we're going to load up the Nether. We're going to do ABC. I'm going to show you everything we need to do. By the way, we'll show legendary armor last because we'll talk about it now, right? So right now, currently this week until reset, we have Grasp of Avarice. Master mode, if you listen, if you have Queensbreaker with deconstruction, particle deconstruction, or 1K. Easiest thing ever. It is so free. You can do it. Trust me. Just stay alive. Have some confidence. I know it's hard. Why do you want to do that? Because if you're going to farm armor, the best armor right now is Artifice. Because not only can you farm illegal rolls, you can get tier 3s that also will have the benefit of Artifice. We know that translating in 90% of the game is going to be sunset. So most likely these are going to be capped at like tier 1. Everything's going to be tier 1. I don't know. It is better to play safe now, especially the illegal rolls. You're not going to be able to get these, so you might as well get them now. So you can get some juicy stats, even if they're not overly juiced. You can get stat rolls like mobility and strength. You're not going to be able to get that. Mobility and intellect. You're not going to be able to get that. Recovery and discipline. You're not going to be able to get these combos. So there's specific combinations you can go for. And go as high as you can and keep those. And like I said, Artifice gives you 3 extra points, so you can kind of put that into the specific build that you want. Extra is extra. Take what you can get, especially if you're not going to go for tier 5 in the future, or you just want to kind of future-proof yourself for a while. You can just at least automatically play the build that you're used to without having to feel like, okay, well, I'm stuck. So yes, my advice is Titans, Warlocks, you're going to have the easiest time finding a team that's going to let you in with Queensbreaker. And if you don't, you want to run Hunter, honestly, it's better for you to get a checkpoint on one of your other characters and host it, because then you can literally switch into your Hunter and have a Warlock and a Titan or 2 Titans. I would suggest having a warlock at least, or 2 warlocks. And I think honestly you need a warlock and a titan if you're going to be hunter. Titan just does so much damage right now with Thunder Crash. That's the strat I would go with. But you will guarantee that you will find people, especially if you get the checkpoint from like a checkpoint bot, you're going to have a good time. I know we're doing a lot of yapping. I'm trying to get this up front because I'm trying to cram so much into the video to get you set, because you only have so much time. You have about till reset to do Grasp of Avarice. If you don't want to do Grasp of Avarice Master, I'm going to show you at the very end the very easiest way to farm for high stat gear with especially people who are coming in. You're going to want to do this, because I may even do it on my hunter personally, so I can do less focusing and I just can work on my Titan and my Warlock, which I need to do next. So what you need to do for Glimmer right now, Glimmer is a big bottleneck. What you want to do is you want to come to the last city. You're going to have to progress the story a little bit in order to have access to this. But once you do, you're going to have access to the private nether, and we're going to jump right into it. And we're going to see. All right, we have loaded in. None of this matters. So what we're going to do is wherever you load in, you're just skating. I would focus on going like the edges for now. Focus on your edges. You're going to edge, and you're going to look for the chest. You can aim down sight and kind of get an idea of where they're all at. But we're specifically going for the chest. Why? By the way, the Glimmer booster matters, because you get up, the maximum you can get is 7,400, which does matter. We're just going to focus on opening as many chests. That's it. That's all you're doing. You can go ahead and try to pick up these materials if you have the boon that lets you hold on to half of what you collect. I personally don't care. Oops. We're just running past this, right? We don't care about anything else. We're just here to get chests. We're just chesting around. So as you can see, there's nothing else. Nothing here. So you could also just run the nether. If you plan on just farming the nether anyways, you could double dip. So you can work on getting some nether weapons. You can focus on getting nether weapons, getting scriptures. But we're right now, I'm specifically not caring about the nether. I want to min-max my farm for exotics. So I'm just going to keep going around. Aim down sights. Okay. Nothing here. There's nothing there. So you might want to look up a video tutorial for each area, because I'm not going to sit there and do an entire video for you. There are a bunch of secrets. And why does the secrets matter? Well, I'll show you why. We'll do 2 secrets. Not only that, this is a good farm for guns. So you're farming around. You can use these. I can get these pretty easily. Like, where am I at right now? Mine. I guess I could just look at my inventory like a dingus dangus. Yeah, so I'm at 49. So I'm going to go ahead and use this, because you can also farm for shinies and random, but you mostly want that because you do get Glimmer, which is pretty important. Again, it doesn't matter if you don't get anything. You can, if you've unlocked the different rights, again, look at a video for secrets. This is one of the last secrets, among one of the last secrets. They'll spawn 2 chests, which is great because, as you can see, sometimes you'll get loot, sometimes you'll get Glimmer. In that case, we didn't get anything from that chest, but you still get the extra, right? That's what we're here for. Another one is, if you follow this path that I'm going to show you, there is another secret chest. And I'm going to show you while we're here in this specific section. You just climb up this wall, you pull out your ghost, it'll show you, and your character should mantle. Yep, there it is. All right, there we go. And we're just going to follow this path all the way around. You'll get some voice dialogue and whatnot. I personally just don't care, so I turned off sound. I'm just going to try to show you all the paths I go. I'm not going to cut them out or anything. There you go, secret. So this was a secret. You get a chest. Doesn't matter if you get anything out of it. You just want the glimmer. I don't care about anything else. Now, I'm going to come all the way over here. And get this chest. I'm going to show you another secret area that you can go. If you come over here to, this is where back in the Destiny 1 where King Oryx's throne is. Usually this can be a secret, and it is a secret. So we're going to go ahead and light it up. We're going to light that bad boy up. And you come to these little cauldrons. Very interesting. We got all 3 secrets that I know of. All right, and you're going to have like a mini boss fight. Doesn't matter. We're just going to kind of just do our thing with Lord of Wolves. You're just nuke this guy. And then you get a free chest. Wow. And guess what? You get Glimmer, and I got a scripture, which is huge because that's free Ascent Shards. Also, you come over here, pay for 2 more. Boom, more Glimmer. And you can delete that. Guess what? For more Glimmer and shards, or keep it if you want to keep them for DPS. Or DPS, keep them as weapons. So there you go. I was at 50, I think, already. So that gave me about 100. Again, we didn't get like a lot of chests. Certain areas have a little bit more chest. You can continue to farm and play with other people. Or what you could do is just keep loading in private solo and do that a couple times. So if you want to max out, if you get about 100 a run, if you're fortunate, that was what? 5 minutes. So do that 5 times, what, like 25 minutes, something like that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, like 25 minutes of getting max Glimmer, which is probably the fastest way that I know of that you can get right now, outside of maybe Breach Executable. If you want to deal with Expert, you go here. If you Expert, you can also get a crap ton of Glimmer, but that requires you to play the activity. If you don't enjoy the activity, or you don't even want to engage with the activity, or if you don't want to engage with people, you're like, screw people. I wouldn't worry about this. You can just do the Nether 5 times in 25 minutes ish. You're speed running it, and get 100 Glimmer or whatever it is, and min max your time that way by resetting it. Or you could just continue to play on your own if that's what you want to do. But if you're trying to min max your time and you want to be as efficient as possible, that's what I would do. Now, last thing is I'm going to show you guys where you could go if you are wanting to get armor, but you don't want to do Grasp of Avarice, or by the time you watch this, Grasp of Avarice has changed out, and the current dungeon that is on the reset is not a good one, like Duality or something like that. I'm going to show you guys another easy way to get high stat loot, even though it's not Artifice, high stat loot to get ready. All right, here we are. Now we're at Failsafe over at the helm. Again, if you're playing through episode Echoes, you'll unlock her. You will have to play Echoes pretty much all the way through. I'm telling you right now, especially if you want to unlock the armor or weapons or whatever. But specifically, we're looking at weapons. I'm specifically using a ghost that has mobility armor because I want to pull those illegal stats of weapons and mobility, which is going to be weapons, and intellect, which is going to turn into super. So, or whatever illegal rolls. But me specifically, I'm looking for like a Nighthawk build. So I'm going to focus on legs. So 2K, pretty cheap, comparable. We just did the Nether, 2 engrams and 2 Glimmer, pretty cheap. So we're going to pop one. We're going to see how we did. Okay. So we got mobility and intellect, 22, 20, and it's a 64 rel. Low resilience, which is great. We don't want it. And then we have recovery, which will be class, and discipline, which will be grenade. That's fine. We've got 2 pretty juicy stats. That's a tier 3. It's a low tier 3. You can keep farming to get those juicy 30-30s, those legacy 30-30s. Like I'll show you, I believe. Boom, there it is. Almost 30-30. The recovery discipline, which this is a legal roll. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Yes, it is not like, it is a lower stat. Unfortunately, it's like a tier 2, but It is a high roll that you're not going to see, and it's an illegal roll. So it's going to be good, but it could be better, right? But you're wanting that those juicy stats. Now I can build into recovery and discipline if that's what I want to do. If I want to do like a grenade build or my hunter in the future with high class to be able to dodge, boom, there it is. So let's do another roll. Let's do two rolls. I'm popping 2. We're gonna see. All right, that's a 67. That's a higher stat. We got mobility with intellect with strength. We're kind of all over the place. I'm specifically wanting more sharp bit like specific drops. So let's see if we get lucky. Ooh, okay, that's huge. All right, so that's a 66. We've got a spike in recovery. It's a hunter. We want class to be able to dodge, mobility, weapons, and then discipline. Oh, that's great. If I wanted a grenade build, especially with hunter, that's weapons and grenades. Mwah, spicy. We love that. So that's the kind of spikes in the direction we're wanting. I'm going to leave that alone. Let's try it again. Let's just keep gambling. We're going to gamble. We're gambling. Gamble, man. I'm going to pop 2. Let's see if we hit big. Okay, there we go. 24, 22. Yes, we got a little bit of resilience, but 65 and it's strength. So for the strength builds, weapon strength, we love that, especially if we're doing like 1, 2, or trench barrel with our melee build. Pretty juiced. That one's kind of all over the place. It's got recovery, discipline, strength. Again, we're going to want to fine tune that. Not really a roll that I'm excited about. We want one of the more spikier rolls, but you understand the concept. You're looking for those spiky rolls that you can roll with and focus specifically on those things that you're wanting for your build. Again, all stats matter, but if you really want those very specific stats to amplify your build, that's how you're gonna focus it, right? So for those that are remaining, we're gonna do a run of a master lost sector to give you an idea of what kind of lost sector speed you're looking for. All right, here we go. We're doing perdition on master. I'll show you my build while we're loading in. I'm pretty confident. Lord of Wolves, everything here. I'm just kind of scything through it so you can kind of just take a look at what I like to run. Boom, there you go. Sorry, we're gonna jump into it. This is gonna be a very quick run. It should take less than 3 minutes, and really that's what you want. You want 3-minute runs, not even master, but even expert mode if that's what you're wanting to do. And I'll try to give some like tips. Gonna wait, let them spawn, because sometimes you can pick off multiple things at once. Okay. Unfortunately, he ran away before I could pick him off, because usually you can pick him off. I always like to kill him so I don't have to deal with his butt. You have to be careful because he is finicky. There we go. Even if it's messy, you can easily do this. Even if you dying and it's not messy, or sorry, it is messy, you could still easily do it. It's okay. I've been farming this for like 3 hours straight. Even with mess ups like that, you can still do it. It's fine. The main goal is just making sure you get through it. Now there is a key thing at the end. We're gonna skip 2 champions by killing the boss really fast. Not that boss. There's another boss. You're gonna want to kill the boss as quickly as possible. We've got our super. We've got transcendence. Sometimes I use it. Sometimes I don't. We're just gonna focus on killing the trash because there's gonna be 2 big birds. We'll kill the birds in a minute. Bird's the word. There we go. I'm going to suspend him. That way I can just focus on killing him as quickly as possible. All right. I'm going to go ahead and transcend because I'm wanting to try to shuffle up. We're just going to focus on him. Sometimes just using your Lord is better than just using, oops. Like I said, even if it's messy, you can still do it. All right, we're still doing pretty good time. This is about normal. Now, you want to run up as close as possible. If you're a hunter or a warlock, you're just going to have to do what's best for your class. And then run right back here as soon as possible. And you will see, the reason why you do that is you're going to see platinum pop up. And you're going to get, you'll get your, you'll still get the possibility of getting Ascent Shards and getting an exotic. Unfortunately, we did not. We may have been a little too slow, but that's okay. We may have been too slow. I like to slam on top of that. If you're going to slam, and or you could also go in the back and use your Nova or Golden Gun. Whatever you want to do, you want to kill the, you want to one-shot the boss, essentially. Because if you don't one-shot the boss and the 2 anti-barrier champions spawn, you can kill them too. It'll make it run 3 minutes. 3 minutes is not bad, but I like to speed run. That was a completely messy run. We still did it with 2 minutes, and I may have been a little too late with my slam. That's okay. Honestly, I think what messed me up was high jump. You just kind of want to use strafe, so that way you don't get blasted in the air. But outside of that, you just speed run, kill the boss as quickly as possible, beeline. You'll get plat, it'll pop up, you're fine. You don't have to kill the 2 champions. Now, or you could play it safe, kill the 2 anti-barrier, take your time. You can do it within 3 minutes and still get access to some golf balls, work on your Tomb of Want like I am, and you can get those exotic engrams. I know longer video at the end, but for those who actually care, this is kind of what you look for, is the fast lost sectors that you can either do on Master or Expert. Master is going to give you the better chance of getting an exotic engram. So that's what I would do personally. Again, anyone could do this, whether you're buying Edge of Fate or not. I would min-max this because exotics matter. Where should you prioritize your time? If you are wanting to focus on the best build possible to translate into the future, whether you're buying Edge or not, I would focus Master Grasp of Avarice. If you don't feel confident in that, then I would focus your time on working through episode echoes. If you have, then start using those echo engrams. If you haven't, then focus that, unlock the different armors, and then grind as much echo engrams as possible by playing those activities. It's going to be fun or boring depending on your taste, but you're going to get very high stat gear pretty easily, and you're going to feel comfortable knowing that you have illegal roles that benefit you in the future, so that you don't have to sweat about it. Like, you're going to have the best tier 3 armor in the game. Nothing's going to be better than those tier 3 armor rolls because they're going to be illegal, and they're going to be high statty rolls that benefit your build. And from there, you can plug and play different aspects into your build, or if you play Edge of Fate, you'll eventually trade those out for those juicy tier 5 rolls. Maybe, depends. You might find some of the spikier rolls to be more advertising for what you're looking for, or so we'll see how that plays out. But that's just my little illegal smuggler build run for you, just to show you how to farm and try to min-max your time. If you're not prepared weapon-wise, honestly, just as the last informational dump, I would go play Onslaught, because those weapons are the best in the game. One of the best guns, some of the best guns in the game, and they're going to be pushed into Xur, which going to make them harder to farm, right? Right now, it's better to farm there. You can attune them. You're not going to be able to attune Xur. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but your best bacon is to focus Onslaught now and get those juicy Onslaught weapons that are really good even now. And that's it, man. I hope this helps someone out there. Like I said, I don't do mini guides. This is specifically to help those who are wanting to min-max and prepare for either Edge of Fate or just try to get ahead of the curve so that they can come back and play Destiny in the future and their stuff isn't ass, right? You're ass proofing. That's right. You're making sure your armor is ass proof. Well, I'll see you guys later. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. As always,